amigos. Guess what? I don't know what this video is going to be about, but I know what's happening right now. I rode up here to show Mark and Kenny that the ironhead's actually running, and what a better ideal place to break down than a freaking motorcycle shop. As I look down, check it out. Yeah, I got one heck of an oil leak going on, and I know what I did wrong. I forgot to zip tie my oil line out of the way of the drive chain and chewed a hole in it, and I think it's done draining. Oh no, it's still draining right now. So after this thing gets done draining, we're going to wheel this thing into the shop and see if we can splice the hose back together, do things the right way. But oh well, it wouldn't be life if these things didn't happen, right? Okay, got it fixed. And so kind of Kenny and Mark and Hollywood to take up some of their space and do this in their shop. Like I said, what a better place to break down than in front of Scooters. So here's what I've done. Way down there is my return line and my feed line, and they were riding pretty close to the chain. I guess too close for comfort, because the return line was okay, it was pretty close, but like I said, the feed line was right on that chain. It just cut a hole right in it. But I couldn't film it because I needed both of my hands, and all I had was a cell phone, and I really couldn't ask, you know, one of these guys who has to actually do some work to film this. But you guys get the idea. I have absolutely no oil left, so it looks like I am going to be buying some oil. Hey Kenny, I'm telling the audience that there's nobody better around as a bike shop than to let you break down in front of him and take up your space. And of course, he's going to want some compensation for my annoying him about it and messing up his nice, pretty concrete with all this oil. Right. Yeah, but I gotta get some oil, and you guys get the idea. Somebody asked me one time, what is it about those iron heads, or even the shovel heads sometimes, some shovels, that made them so problematic? And hold on a second, I'm still not used to this right-hand shift stuff. Well, my response to that is, they're not problematic, not in and of themselves. The problem is the one who owns it. You see, we live in a time and an era where most people aren't riding those kind of bikes anymore, or these kind of bikes, you know, shovels, iron heads, maybe even some panheads. I know they're out there, but that's not the common thing you see on the road anymore. Because that's true, you know, that generation that this is all they knew, irons, shovels, pans, I mean, they knew those bikes. They knew what they needed. They knew the maintenance intervals. They knew exactly what they had to have done to them at certain times. And they knew what to look out for. Now this right here, shame on me, okay? I know what I've got, but when I built the thing, I overlooked where my oil lines were. So at least I had a good idea where to look, because suddenly it came to memory that I needed to reroute my oil lines and get it away from that chain. Well, anyway, what a way to find out that I didn't do it yet. But yeah, if you're going to buy an old bike or build a bike, or at least have an old antique piece of machinery like this, do your homework. Get a manual, study that thing like it's the Bible. Well, not like it's the Bible, but anyway, get to know what these things need. And, you know, take them on little short spurts. I have to look behind me because I don't have any mirrors yet. And just get to know the darn thing. I mean, think about it. Your M8s, your twin cams, even the Evos, they're not gonna, like, you know, just fall apart on you for no reason. Well, I don't want to say for no reason. I mean, this has a lot more moving parts in the electrical as far as ignition goes, you know, advanced weights, points, and condenser, and those things tend to wear out over time. You don't have that problem with electronic ignition. That's one thing you got to keep an eye on if you have that kind of an ignition. I mean, a lot more moving parts with my brakes. I have a mechanical drum brake. It's not just a simple master cylinder brake line and some fluid operating the caliper. I mean, there's little pins and keepers and stuff like that, and stuff that could vibrate apart, which is one reason why I put this front brake on here. Whoa, I just thought about something. I don't have my headlight on, and that guy actually saw me. that sound. Anyway, it's not the motorcycle's fault. It's the individual who owns the motorcycle. Now sometimes they go awry, but then again, you gotta know what to look for. So, being that is said, I don't know what else to say about that matter. Let's see what happens next. Hopefully I don't break down before I get home. Okay, amigos, this is what's next. It's a few days later, and hey, look, it's Mark again. And decided that I'm going to take a trip next weekend, which happens to be on the weekend coming. My key? Oh, hold on, I gotta get my key. Anyway, as I was saying, the weekend of, what's the weekend? Memorial Day weekend, yeah, that's what it is. And I'm gonna head east from here, go into Georgia, stay the night at this campground called Arrowhead Campground. I've never been there before. I found it on Google Maps. So, and then after that, I'm gonna meet up with my buddy Brian. This is all a plan. Then again, plans don't always work out, but this is the plan. And then we're gonna ride up to North Carolina, do the Tail of the Dragon. And after that, I'm just gonna take my time going home because I need to get out and about a little bit and escape the rat race, you know what I mean? So anyway, I said all that to say this. I've got the bagger here, and I've decided why not get a new tire. I already had the new tire, but I don't have the means. Well, I do have the means, but I don't have the gumption to do it myself. So I rode the bike up here with the tire, and Mark here is going to put it on for me. Not only just a paint and body guy, but he can definitely turn some wrenches better than anybody I know, especially yours truly. So I'm gonna quit yammering my hammer, and we'll see what happens after this. I see something interesting. Kenny looks like he's got a project going on. What you building, Kenny?
Panhead.
Pre-fitting the oil tank?
Yeah.
What year bike's it gonna be?
That 48 right there.
Oh, what, this one right here?
Yeah.
Check that out. So these are definitely not just for display. They're actually going to go in a frame, a rolling chassis, something like that.
Yes, this one right here is going in that frame right there.
What, that shovel is going in this thing right here, huh?
Yeah, first.
And what you going to do with this once you get it all together?
Don't know yet. I need you to do me a favor and go out into Hollywood's toolbox and get me a 1/2-inch ratchet wrench.
Okay, let's see what Hollywood's got. That might work. I got what you need, man.
Yeah, right on, brother.
You see the projects in the making with cool stuff, going in cool chassis like this, hardtail, softtail, outboard shocks, who knows. But nevertheless, if it's getting made here, it's going to be one bad to the bone motorcycle.
That's right.
Right.
Don't build no shit here.
What he said. Hey, and check this out. It's funny how YouTube works, all this social media stuff. Check this out. Kenny's got a little bit of a project too in this part of the shop. Got a couple of ironhead motors sitting on a pallet. This one here, I can tell it's probably somewhere between 72 and 74 because those are 1000cc rocker boxes, and it's got a right side shift. So this over here, as you can see, this is 75, 76 right here. This is what my ironhead motor is. The funny thing is, the guy who brought these over here, he wants Kenny to rebuild them. He drove all the way from Pennsylvania to drop this off, and he went all the way back home. And then when they're done, he's gonna come all the way back down and get it. Unless maybe they're gonna mail it to him. I don't know. But the real funny thing is the power of YouTube and social media. The guy who brought these down here is not only from Pennsylvania, but he watched my video, my little live video, where these guys got the 68 Ironhead XLCH done. Anyway, just to prove that they work on old stuff that most people won't touch with a 10-foot pole. So anyway, yeah, he saw my live feed, saw that, and decided to bring those motors down here to let these guys work on them. That's pretty cool. Thanks for giving them some business, whoever you are, man. Leave a comment down below if you watch this. Just let me know who it is so I can say thank you.
I got his name.
Oh, I'm gonna find out who you are. His name is Beep.
and it's a 1974 and a 1975 Ironhead.
Just like what I was telling you. That's what's on that pallet. Because I knew that the 74 was, I didn't know if it was a 74. I knew it was between 72 and 74 because in 72, that's when the 1000 came out, and that has 1000 rocker boxes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know your iron heads.
Well, when you mess with something long enough, you tend to like get to know them a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
It's kind of like us and shovels and pans.
Yeah. They don't really like Sportsters, but they'll work on them.
Yeah.
And it'll be right when it's done, right?
Sure will, or it won't leave.
Okay, if you ever get a bagger and you want to pull the axle out just to get the wheel off, typically what happens is the exhaust right here is just kind of like, you know, a pain in the butt, and the axle wants to come out and hit the exhaust. But to move the exhaust out of the way, that's a job all by itself. So what Mark has done, he's just kind of shimmed it out of the way a little bit. Or you can do it like the way I do it, is whenever I pull the back wheel off, air compressor. When I pull the back wheel off, I always, you know, unbolt the shock and then let the bike come down, and it gives me some clearance for the axle to come out. So to me, that's easier than messing with exhaust. But Kenny's got the wheel over there. Really, the tire doesn't really look too bad. I mean, it's definitely got some miles left on it.
Yeah. But
But my brand new tire's got a lot more tread than that. So I mean, can't lose putting a brand new tire on before going on a road trip. But okay, bike's back down to the earth, and I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and get back to the house and play the day by ear. Hey, Mark was cool. He even let me help him work on the bike and stuff like that.
We charge him double for labor, but we let him help.
Yeah, I guess so. You gotta charge more to put up with my annoying little self. Anyway, so enough of the blah 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 blah. Okay, back home here in the garage, just hanging out, doing nothing, and just filming my outro. But it's always a good time to hang out at Scooters for a couple of hours, especially when you have a good excuse for being there. And again, you know, I just didn't have the gumption or the want to try and pull my wheel off. Every time you work on a bagger, it's always a pain in the butt. But anyway, check this out. I have a running motorcycle right there, a running motorcycle right here, a running motorcycle right here, another running motorcycle, and this runs too. That has not happened in forever, or probably ever, that I had all my motorcycles running. Some of them run better than others, but hey, they're all rideable bikes, so that's pretty cool. So check it out here on the Ironhead. As you'll see, it's got a different gas tank on there, so I went ahead and replaced the gas tank. I was really wanting to make it that blue color, or keep it that blue distressed look, you know, with all the characteristics, but now it looks like I'm gonna have to get a paint job. And by the way, that's the wrong gas tank for an Ironhead Sportster. You know, the mounting, you know, the mounting tabs are not quite right. So I found an Ironhead Sportster tank, and this one here is white. But anyway, on a later date, I'm going to take the fender and the tank to Mark, Lord willing. You know, you never know what's going to happen. And have him repaint the bike and maybe get some of that AMF style 1976 Sportster logo. So, I don't know. Ideas. But there are a few things on the motor, you know, itself that needs to be addressed. It could run better than it's doing now. Might be because I ran that blue gas tank on there and it had some bad gas in it, and that bad gas went through the carb, and who knows, because it was running really good when it was on the rack. And anyway, but hey, it's an Ironhead. You got to work on them. But that's that. But I guess I'm just going to end it here with you guys. And also, I'm going to mention it again. I'm not going to mention it every time, that I do have a Patreon, and if you want to be part of the channel in some kind of way, the link's down below. Feel free, you know, check it out, and you decide what you want to do with that. And as always, guys, you guys keep the rubber side down. You be good to yourselves. Thanks a lot.